What is up, world? Doing some normal stuff today. Make a little video for my buddy. This is a D16. It's a Honda single cam motor, VTEC, all that good jazz. What I'm doing on it is basically tearing it down, changing out the head gasket, water pump, tensioner, timing belt, putting it back in time. We're gonna throw it back in his beater. Literally picked up the car for like $300 from a buddy of ours, and this is the old head, and as you can see there are plugs still in there because they are fused to the head. So what we'd have to do is send it off to a machine shop and have them get that taken care of. But instead of having to deal with that, we just went ahead and bought a new motor. I mean, they're cheap, easy to do, easy to fix, easy swap. So just gonna help them out and do that. Gonna show you guys what it looks like to tear down a single cam if you haven't seen one, and how to change a head gasket, water pump, timing belt, tensioner, put it back in time and throw it back in the car. All the valve cover bolts are out. So basically, should be able to pick it up. Probably will have to pry it up. Now, I'm going to start by taking the spark plugs out, even though you don't need to, it's not really necessary, but we're going to be changing them anyway, so I'm just going to do that while it's easy. And then we're going to start taking out the head bolts, all right here. Oh boy. That's no good. Reasons why you always want to tear down one of these motors whenever you buy them. Just used, they're old, you know. That's what it boils down to. Alright, now I'm going to start taking off the head bolts. It's a 14 mil, got Big Bertha. Just going to knock it out. Alright, the head bolts are out. I've got the other ones in this pan. I've got them in order from whenever I took them out. Alright, I'm going to start removing the timing belt cover. It's just a 10 mil. Get off. Sorry, it's kind of hard to film. Do it one-handed. All right. slight intermission. Had to go pick up a tool from a buddy of mine. Thanks, Jay, coming through. So yeah, now I'm gonna get the pulley off, get the rest of the covers off, tensioner, get the belt off, get the head off, you know, keep going with it. Alright, this is the setup that I got. Jay also let me borrow his big ass breaker bar, and then got a big cheater pipe from the jack on the pulley tool. So yeah, we're gonna send it. Okay, so basically this is what you want to do. We've already broken it. Just have someone resist your motion to turn it left, and then you just turn it. Boom. Got the bolt out. Just pull the pulley off with my hands. No big deal. Now I'm gonna start getting this cover off. Get this cleaned up. Well, I've got the new pump and the old pump right next to each other, and it comes with a gasket, so apparently you don't have to use gasket maker. My bad. It even says right here, do not use together with gasket maker. So the person that installed the last water pump did that, and you can see the gunk that blocked up this channel right here. Kind of impeding some of the flow right here, so that's probably why they tell you not to use the gasket maker. So what I'm going to do is just going to use the gasket they supplied and be done with it. Alright, got my dial indicated torque wrench. I'm going to tighten down the water pump to 100 inch-pounds and then make sure that they're nice and snug. It's 102 inch-pounds for the torque spec. I'm just going to go a little under that and then kind of feel it out. Now on to the tensioner. Alright, tensioner's on. I just got to thread it on by hand. It's not really that tight. I'm going to take off the head now and then change out the head gasket. Alright. What the cylinders look like. Pretty normal. Don't really see any scarring or anything, just some surface rust. That'll all get chewed up and taken care of whenever we fire this thing up, so go ahead and clean up all the surfaces and clean up the head, put the new gasket on, keep going. Alright, so I got the valve cover kind of cleaned up. Gonna go ahead and paint it. But yeah, taping off the letters right now. I just basically sanded those to where it was kind of like a polished look, and then took my bristle attachment, wire brush attachment, whatever you want to call it, and just kind of gave it like a brushed look. Now I'm just taping it off, so neat little trick. Yeah, taping off all the letters so that they're not going to be painted, and yeah, makes it look clean. Now I'm going to take a razor knife and just cut out all the excess. Alright, got the head on. Just went ahead and put some assembly lube on the head studs, and then just hand tighten them in. Coming right along, coming right along. I'm going to have to prep these surfaces. I don't know why they would paint over this, but that's not good. So just going to wet sand that, get it all cleared. And then this paper gasket right here is garbage. It's So I'm really hoping that I can reuse the gasket that's right here. But if not, we're just going to get an intake and exhaust manifold gasket. It's like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks for both of them, and they're both metal. It's not the paper one, so, you know. I think that'd be a better solution than doing the paper one, considering this is what they turn into after so many thousand miles. But anyway, over here on this side, I'm just doing a little touch up to the valve cover. I got it all taped off yesterday and just hitting it with some caliper paint, VHT high temp. Get it that race car red, you know. I figured since we were tearing it down, we might as well kind of pretty it up a little bit. It is going in a real beater, the true definition of a beater. But I don't know, why not start here, make it clean, and then we can start doing everything else, like, you know, the rest of the car and whatnot. You'll see whenever we put the motor in. Tightening down the head studs. I'm on the third step. Got the steps right here. First is 14 pounds, then 36, then 49. And then you want to do the fourth step again with 49, numbers 1 and 2. So yeah, I'm going to finish up that last step, and then I'll show you what the valve cover looks like. Alright, this is it so far. I'm going to do a few more coats and make sure that it's nice and even everywhere. So far so good, no drips or anything like that, so yep. And keep slowly putting the paint on. So I got the old gasket off. Cleaned up the surface as best as I could. And here's the other side that was painted. Still got a little more that I can take off, that I'm going to take off. You always want a smooth surface whenever you're mating up the manifolds to the head, or I mean, you want a smooth surface whenever you're mating up any part of the engine to itself. That way, no leaks, no check engine lights, nothing crazy like that. You want it to run perfectly, or perfectly, because it's an old ass motor, so it's not going to run as great as a new motor, but still, you want to take every precaution you can to make sure that your mating surfaces are nice and tight. Now go back over this part, sand it down, and yeah, get it cleaned up too. But so far so good. Here's the valve cover. It's not on the engine, it's just kind of placed it there so I can see what it looks like, but I think it came out pretty well. So I'm gonna let this cure overnight. Give it a good 12 hours, 12, 17 hours, something like that. I don't know, whatever. Semantics. Let that cure all the way. Right now, I'm gonna work on getting off the old intake manifold. I'm gonna get it cleaned up and see what I can do with it. Like I said, hopefully I could use these gaskets, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to. It looks like they're the paper ones like the old one, and literally had to chisel the old ones off, so we'll see. Alright, I got the gaskets from Mitch, and basically now what I'm working on is replacing these studs right here. I've already replaced one, but yeah, this head was missing some, so what I've done is I'm gonna take them off the old head. I've sprayed it down with some PB Blaster, let it sit, and use some tiny vice grips right here. Let's see if I'll be able to take off one, but basically kind of hard to adjust with one hand also, but kind of squeeze it on there and give her a turn. Nope, not this one. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that one's nice and loose. But yeah, I'm gonna get this stud off. There you go. And I'll come over here and see if it fits. Yeah, it's kind of having the same problem with this one, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up the threads. I've already got this deal kind of set up right here. That looks good. Get my vice grips. There we go. Just gonna clean up those threads. And then also next, take the tap. Just go ahead and clean up the threads in here. It wants to go, so again, vice grips. I know they do make tools for these, but mine were all destroyed tapping Luke's hot side on his turbo. Now I've yet to pick up some more, so vice grips are gonna have to do. And I'm barely putting any effort into this. I'm just kind of working it in. It's gonna bottom out. Spray it out. Clean up the threads. Thread lock. Okay, after the studs, I'm going to go ahead and start taking care of these surfaces, cleaning them up with acetone, getting these holes taped up. I'm going to get the intake manifold taken off, get the gasket put on, have those surfaces cleaned also. Then come over here to the valve cover. I'm going to get the old gasket out, get it replaced with the new one. Come back, put some gasket maker on the head surface right here. I've already got it pretty much cleaned up for the most part. I'm just going to go over it once more, make sure it's nice and solid, good to go, and then seal her up. Alright, I got the surfaces on the intake manifold taken care of. Also got the new gasket kit put in on the valve cover. The most difficult part was getting out the old ring seals right here. They were really dried and crusted on there, so just use a screwdriver and pried them out. Now that that's taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and slap them on the engine. Alright, there we go. There she is. Sealed up, ready to go. Next step is to get her in the car. That's what I'll be working on today. Probably won't be able to film it because I'll be working by myself and need two hands and whatnot. Anyway, appreciate y'all checking it out, sticking around. I know it's not the most exciting video, but it's what I've been up to. We'll keep you guys updated on all the other cars as events happen and, you know, we get updates about them. Kev's still having trouble with his STI. Still trying to figure out what the problem is. Last update I got from SMS was that there was a wire on the harness that had worn through somehow. So they were repairing that and seeing if it was going to make a difference. But other than that, still not running right. So try to pinpoint the problem and like I said, keep you guys updated. But yeah, we'll see you on the next